made fresh A&W root beer with the purchase of any entree inside. Come see us at 4 Lexington locations. A&W, burgers, chicken, floats.
Marshall Lifestyle Medicine for doctors, 60 years of experience.
Right now at 5:30, it isn't snowing, but another element causing some issues. Just ahead, we'll see how heavy fog is affecting traffic.
We'll check on that here on WKYT this morning. Also, Georgetown police are investigating an overnight robbery. Coming up, the latest from police on that.
The Kentucky legislature will vote on a bill that could bring major changes to the state's education system.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, and it's so good to have you with us on WKYT as we get this Wednesday started. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. A little bit of fog that could impact your commute this morning, kind of a spooky scene out there.
We have some delays at the airport apparently as a result, and we want to check in with meteorologist Micah Harris in our First Alert Weather Center.
Yeah, and that's going to be the case. Look, the fog is going to be the issue this morning. However, we still have some few flakes flying through the northern zones, and that's a pretty good clip up there as you work your way into Bracken County and also Mason County. So heads up for that. No issues out of that, but yeah, you could get a good clip of a snow shower flying on through. 32 now, Mountain Parkway. As those cars pass by, you can see the roads look pretty good. Some fog around here in Lexington if you're about to take off by the afternoon. We're 38 and also with those mostly cloudy skies. Now remember, a few flakes this morning north of I-64. Afternoon looks pretty good. The next several days look fantastic. You'll really like your 7-day forecast, especially as we head towards your weekend. I'll have that coming up.
Okay, see you then. Thank you.
Well, over the past few days, it's been snow, but this morning drivers could encounter some different travel troubles.
There's thick fog in many areas, including near Lexington's Bluegrass Airport. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain is live for us with more on how the fog is slowing travel. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning, guys. So far, there are 3 flights that are delayed here at the Bluegrass Airport. 2 of those flights to Atlanta and 1 to Philadelphia. Now, there were several flights delayed yesterday due to fog, so that's what we're keeping our eye on so far this morning. And visibility is at a half a mile or less in certain parts of central Kentucky, so be careful out there this morning. And the patchy fog is causing visibility issues in many areas. We're getting reports from all around our viewing area of people dealing with fog on their morning commutes. If you take the Clay Ferry Bridge, know that you will be driving through dense fog this morning. And Nicholasville, I was told, has heavy fog. And one of our producers drives in from Clark County, and she said she drove through heavy fog about a half hour ago. So be careful out there this morning, and remember to drive with your low beams on if you are driving through the fog this morning. And for those of you flying, there are 3 flights delayed so far this morning, 2 to Atlanta and 1 to Philadelphia, and I will keep you updated on those flights throughout the morning. Live in Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
Michelle, thank you. Georgetown police are investigating an overnight robbery at a pizza restaurant. It happened shortly after 2 this morning at the Domino's Pizza on Lexington Road near Mount Vernon Road. Investigators say a man came into the store with a gun demanding cash. The man then took off on foot, but police have yet to locate him. They say they are now working to get surveillance footage from the store. No injuries were reported.
A bill that could change the face of Kentucky's education system expected to go up for vote today.
The changes would not only affect teachers, but also testing for students as well. It's pretty comprehensive. WKYT's Mark Barber is live in Frankfort with more on what those changes would mean for schools across the Bluegrass. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. Well, those changes would mean that if lawmakers do pass this legislation, they would bring about some sweeping changes from kindergarten through 12th grade in our schools. Now, this bill, Senate Bill 1, it aims to really delete some parts of statewide testing and would also create a new structure for how academic standards are reviewed. Now, the bill would also allow high school students to get credit for arts and humanities courses if they take certain language or tech classes instead. Under the bill, school districts would also take more control over improvements at their schools, as well as teacher evaluations. So if a school is consistently struggling, the district would spearhead the efforts to help the school turn around instead of the Department of Education. School districts would also start creating and using their own teacher evaluation systems instead of relying on the state's systems. Now, there are some concerns about the legislation this morning. The Kentucky Education Association is questioning whether it's premature, saying that the state may not have the authority to give school districts this much flexibility. Now, if Senate Bill 1 is approved by the Senate later today, it would then go before the House of Representatives. Live in Frankfort, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you very much. A man convicted of killing a Lexington police officer will not receive parole, at least for now. Glenn Donahue testified during his parole hearing yesterday morning at a prison in Elliott County. After a 10-minute discussion, the parole board denied parole for Donahue, saying his lengthy criminal record and the seriousness of the manslaughter case are the reasons they made the decision. Donahue was convicted of manslaughter for the 2010 hit-and-run death of Officer Brian Durman. He's currently serving a 20-year sentence. He will be eligible for parole again in 2 years.
State police in Western Kentucky say a TV meteorologist and her husband are now facing charges after being accused of growing marijuana at their home. Police say a tip led to the arrest of 32-year-old Tori Shaw and her husband, 35-year-old Tyler Smoyer, at their home in Graves County yesterday. Police say 5 marijuana plants, 6 long guns, 2 pistols, ammunition, and multiple items used to grow marijuana were recovered from the couple's home. State police sent us this photo of what they found. Shaw is the weekend meteorologist at WPSD TV in Paducah. Well, just days before the South Carolina primary, Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump fending off a direct attack from President Barack Obama as Democratic contenders continue to stump for minority votes.
And Don Champion has the latest on the presidential campaign now.
Donald Trump took aim at President Obama in South Carolina Tuesday night, moments after the commander-in-chief said this.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president. And the reason is because I have a lot of faith in the American people.
You're lucky I didn't run last time when Romney ran, because you would have been a one-term president.
Trump still commands a double-digit lead in the Palmetto State. Yesterday, he and Marco Rubio bashed rival Ted Cruz for being dishonest.
I've never seen a human being lie so much. He lies about everything.
Didn't tell the truth about Ben Carson in Iowa, not telling the truth about my position on marriage.
The Texas senator fired back.
They don't respond on substance, they just scream liar, liar, liar.
On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton is trying to maintain a lead in South Carolina. Tuesday, she and Bernie Sanders courted minority voters.
It's not enough for your economic plan to be break up the banks. You need a plan to address the generations of underinvestment and neglect.
We need to provide substantial help to HBCUs that have done a great job.
Democrats hold their primary in South Carolina a week from this Saturday. Don Champion, CBS News.
Now, yesterday, the president refused to say whether he intends to endorse Sanders or Clinton, saying that he will have an opinion on that eventually.
A political battle continues to grow between President Barack Obama and Senate Republicans. It comes after the president announced he has every intention of choosing a nominee to replace the late Antonin Scalia. Senate Republicans, led by Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, vowed to delay or even block the nominee. They think the task should fall to the next president. The president made a statement yesterday saying Republicans have no constitutional grounds to refuse the vote. Justice Scalia passed away in Texas during a hunting trip Saturday.
Kentucky Senator Rand Paul is among the Republicans who could block the president's nomination for the Supreme Court. During a town hall meeting in Allen County yesterday, Senator Paul said the president can nominate anyone he wants, but he made it clear that he likely will not approve that person.
From my perspective, and from the perspective of representing Kentucky, it's going to be hard for me to approve of an appointment that would go against everything that Kentucky needs.
Hours after Justice Scalia died Saturday, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky said the next justice should not be nominated until there is a new president next year.
Well, Kentucky's new Medicaid commissioner claims the cost to run the insurance program will skyrocket in the coming years. Commissioner Stephen Miller said the cost will jump 20% to more than $3.7 billion over the next 2 years. He questions if the program can be sustained in the long term. Former Governor Steve Beshear expanded the Medicaid program, but current Governor Matt Bevin has promised to repeal that expansion.
A Bullitt County couple is now facing charges after police say they found the couple's 10-year-old child in an extremely hot hotel room alone. Police have now arrested Kelly Hensley and Jonathan Nauer. Investigators say that an officer patrolling a Motel 6 parking lot saw Hensley looking through a car with 2 young children inside. They say Hensley claimed that she was the children's aunt and she was just babysitting them and a sibling. When police checked on the 3rd child, they say they found the boy alone in a room with the thermostat set at 92 degrees. Police say the couple is facing multiple charges, including abandonment of a minor. A team of Lexington firefighters will be hitting the hardwood for a fellow firefighter who is battling cancer. Lexington firefighter Matt Logston was diagnosed last month, and he is now being treated in Chicago. Lexington firefighter Kyle Branham says UK Athletics offered to let a team of firefighters play at Rupp Arena during the halftime of tomorrow night's UK game against Tennessee. Nike is even making special jerseys for the firefighters. Branham says they'll use the time to show their support for Logston. Good move, and I know they're all pulling for him, certainly. Time this morning is 5:40, and let's check live drive traffic and see what is happening here at 20 before 6. And here's a look at your current traffic time. As you see there, we have a normal flow in most of the area. If we can zoom up, we might be able to figure out exactly what that is going on right now. And that may be the closure. We have been reporting a closure on Fontaine Road this morning, and that has to do with a utility pole that was hit in the overnight hours. They've been working to get that fixed. But at the moment, that's about the only issue we know of in the metro
and we've
area.
obviously just been alerting people to the situation of fog out there this morning to keep that in mind, especially over at Bluegrass Airport. There are a couple of delays.
So that is Fontaine Road at about McDowell and Irvin over there this morning, where it is blocked, at least at the moment. A lot more news is coming up on WKYT this morning.
The nation's most prestigious dog show was held last night. We'll take a look at who took home the top prize when WKYT This Morning returns.
We have the temperatures in the 30s again for today, but much, much nicer weather ahead. I'll show you how high we go with those temperatures coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We have a few snow showers up in the far northern half of our viewing area, and none of this is going to cause a major issue. We're actually hearing of what we call graupel, and graupel is basically soft hail. You get those hailstones off in the spring, summer, and also sometimes just year-round with these thunderstorms. But with snow showers, the graupel is just really small. You can just call them balls of light snow. I mean, just really soft hail is the way you can describe those. Falling out of this, yeah, it could put a little bit more coating there on some of those roadways and also some of the yards and rooftops, but none of this is going to cause a big issue. This is flying through Maysville. You're next in line here in about 10 to 15 minutes. Mays Lake, you'll get clipped by this one too as it rolls through Mason County, Lewis County. You're going to be next here in about 30 to 45 minutes. Mount Olivet, you have about 15 to 20 minutes. Another thing to watch out for, visibility issues, especially across the Bluegrass. We're at 0 now coming out of Lexington, out of Bluegrass Airport. Some flights are being affected by that, so check that out online if you're going to be planning on flying here anytime soon. Richmond at 0 miles, and then you look over toward the east-southeast, no major issues. But remember, some of these creeks, streams, yeah, they're a little flooded over toward the east and southeast. So keep in mind, you might be running into that on the roads. We're going to take you a trip down I-75. Look at Athens, Boonesboro. Yeah, that's pretty nasty fog right there, very dense across here in Lexington. You go over toward Winchester Road and also Manor Boulevard. Some places not even showing up with fog, and that's why you're not seeing an advisory outside. You'll get one spot that's very foggy, then you go 5-10 miles down the road and you don't see any. So it's very patchy fog. I-75 Paris Pike with that fog as well. Russell Cave Road, as you can see that fog as you're heading down Russell Cave Road. Today, yeah, a few flurries, a few flakes this morning. Like I said, no major issues, but you could get extremely light accumulation out of that in the far, far north, right along the river. It's chilly, but it is above 32 degrees. That's going to help us out big time. We get into toward late week being Thursday and Friday, and we're talking extremely nice weather. 40s, and then we head toward 50s and 60s as we get into Friday and into your weekend. Yeah, we'll have a small chance of rain, but it feels great. 60s for highs, and not just 60s. We're talking 64, 65 degrees on Saturday. That small chance of rain is there, but no washout. Guys, we haven't felt temperatures in the 60s in over 2 weeks. So here's the nice little change of pace as we head toward your weekend. After we get past today, it's smooth sailing all the way through your weekend. Then Monday and Tuesday, here comes another system. So if you're thinking maybe we're turning the page, flipping over a new leaf, it's the same leaf with a bunch of snow on it. So it's going to be hard to flip that sucker over. We're just in that pattern that it's just not going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah.
We still have a couple more months before we call it spring. So all in all, it's just one of those times you just got to enjoy the nice little change of pace, 60s, pretty nice weather while it lasts.
Oh, that'll be great. I mean, you know, we got to dare to dream that it'll last. But
never happens this time.
No, you have to kind of chug your way out of winter around here. All right, dog show.
Okay, dog show.
Dog show. After the music industry had its big night on Monday, it was time for the dogs to have the spotlight.
Some of the nation's most prestigious dogs took center stage last night at the 140th Westminster Kennel Club. A 3-year-old German short-haired pointer named CJ was named Best in Show. CJ beat out nearly 3,000 dogs to earn the honor. He also won the prized Silver Bowl Award. Borzoi,
I guess.
Borzoi,
yeah.
Called Lucy, finished second for Best in Show. The fan favorite from last night's event was a large Leon Berger named Dario. Dario amused the crowd after wanting nothing but a treat from his handler and kept gnawing in his handler's suit pocket all the way round the ring. Very cute dogs there, and they have a little bit of attitude too.
Yeah, it's always fun because you know, they want it to be so formal, and yet the dogs, you don't always go along with that.
Yeah, the dogs set the tone, don't they?
You got it.
Coming up, you'll get the stories making news right now.
Also, we'll check traffic, see how things are moving along. We have some health news and a lot more on WKYT This Morning. Good morning. 5:52 is your time here before the 6 o'clock hour on your Wednesday morning on WKYT.
Let's take a look right now at some of the stories we're working on for you at this hour.
Foggy conditions could cause visibility issues on your morning commute. The fog has already caused several delays out at Bluegrass Airport. As of now, visibility in Lexington is at about a half a mile.
We have a traffic advisory for you this morning. Fontaine Road currently closed between McDowell and Irvin Roads near Chevy Chase. Police say a suspected drunk driver crashed into a utility pole around 1:30 this morning. Kentucky Utilities has the road closed while the power pole is being repaired. Donald Trump is fending off a direct attack from President Barack Obama days before South Carolina's Republican primary.
Yesterday, the president said that he believed Americans would make what he called a sensible choice and not elect Trump, something the billionaire candidate labeled as a great compliment. The latest polls show Trump and Democrat Hillary Clinton leading by double digits in the Palmetto State. Pope Francis makes a historic visit to the U.S.-Mexico border today on his final day in the country. Hundreds of thousands of people are expected to gather on both sides of the fence as the Pope celebrates Mass in the crime-plagued city of Juarez. Pope Francis will also visit prison inmates while he is there. Misuse of the stimulant Adderall and related emergency room visits are up dramatically among young adults. That's according to a new study from Johns Hopkins. Researchers found the problem is mainly 18 to 25-year-olds who take Adderall without a prescription, often getting the drug from family and friends.
Changes in gut bacteria could be an early indicator of type 2 diabetes. Researchers in South Korea observed changes in the microorganisms before any symptoms of type 2 diabetes developed. They say this discovery may be useful for early diagnosis and treatment. 5:54 is the time. Let's get a check right now on today's traffic troll spots with a look at live drive traffic. Things looking okay. We do have that issue that we told you about at Fontaine Road. Somebody hit a utility pole, a suspected drunk driver, so that's an issue over there. And just some fog out there for you to contend with this morning. Time now to check what's making news online with Bill.
Well, on WKYT.com, considerable fog, as we were just saying, out there this morning. Things are looking better, though, with the weather that is coming in. Some improvements and milder air on the way. We are keeping an eye on things out at Bluegrass Airport. There are 3 delayed flights so far this morning with the thick ground fog. 2 flights to Atlanta are being held back. 1 to Philadelphia is also delayed right now. We still have dozens of closings and delays as many areas continue to deal with the aftermath of heavy rain and snow, with some flooding and rock slides among the issues out there. Some Lexington firefighters are going to get to hit the court at Rupp Arena right in front of the halftime crowd at tomorrow's Kentucky-Tennessee game. They'll be raising awareness for fellow firefighter Matt Logsden, who is in Chicago undergoing cancer treatments. Nike even making some special jerseys for the firefighters. On Kentucky.com, the Bevin administration says Connect has cost Kentucky $330 million, and it says Medicaid costs have jumped 20%, which they say is not sustainable. As you know, former Governor Steve Beshear created Connect and expanded Medicaid and defends both moves. And CBS This Morning is coming up at 7 with your Eye Opener and, of course, the latest news, and we'll have local news, weather, and traffic updates as well. Join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and for the latest anytime, WKYT.com.
Now, you get off into Bracken County and also Mason County. That's where we're seeing that graupel or that snow falling out of the sky. Remember, graupel is just that soft hail during the winter months, and that's what we're seeing in northern Kentucky, also making its way into Mount Olivet and Robertson County up north. So keep in mind, you're going to be rolling into that. None of that's a major issue. Yeah, you could get some there on bits and pieces there on the roads or your rooftops, but other than that, like I said, no major issues there on the roads. 32 degrees now in Frankfort. We're 32 in London. Not everybody dealing with the fog, but now on our sky cam here in Lexington, atop WKYT studios, we can finally see Hamburg kinda through the fog, and that fog is very patchy. Not everybody's seeing it, but if you do, it's going to be very, very dense. 38 degrees by the afternoon. Only a small chance at a couple of flakes today, and it's mainly north of I-64. Then we'll clear some things on out later on this afternoon. Still mostly cloudy, but much better weather. Weather we haven't seen in over 2 weeks. I'm going to be talking about that through another hour of WKYT News. If you're about to take off, have a good day. We'll see you later. If not, we'll see you right back here. Keep it here on WKYT. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.